Alright, welcome back to the Paradise Powerplay tournament. Here we are for round two. We should have the first matchup with Jarazz versus Fruktfisk, and that should be followed by Sagan versus Bus. The players have decided that they're going to continue with the feudal start format for this tournament. But in future, we'll probably be moving to a more Dark Age start. Personally, if you're going to start in Feudal Age, may as well just play an Empire Wars format and probably go with an Empire Wars map pool. But anyways, let's get into it. We have Jarazz in the blue, playing as the Cumans, and Fisk in the red, playing as the Vikings. As usual, not sure what to expect, but I do believe the players are getting a much better hang of the feudal start now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some quicker games. And that will really depend. We may see a lot of aggressive pressure here. Cumans, be expecting scouts, and Vikings, not sure. Might go man at arms or something like that. So just add a little extra speed there. Nothing too exciting happening right now. There's also toying with the idea of creating essentially an Arabia default map for Paradise Powerplay, as the other maps in the map pool will, or at least next time, will most likely be maps from content creators, like map makers, and I feel like it would just make more sense if all the maps should be maps made that don't come with the game, essentially. And the default map would need to be a somewhat standard type map that everyone can easily understand, I guess, without too much time heading into it. But we have some. It's like Fisk is going to start off with some house walling here. Last time we saw Fisk, they were playing very defensively. Also picking Byzantines at one game. A very defensive civilization known for their cheaper skirms and spears and scouts, I believe, which can really go trash the early game and then later maybe go into cataphracts or something similar. And here we go. We've got Fisk coming in here with 3 man at arms. Fisk is not waiting, and Jarazz here has decided to go archers. Now, unfortunately for Fisk, I feel like Jarazz here has already essentially accidentally countered him, or has potentially just thought ahead and figured that's something that the Vikings may do. Now, the Vikings don't get thumb ring anymore, so I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing many archers from the Vikings, but we might still. And that looks like a blacksmith now coming in for Jarazz to get that fletching. And single range currently. And it looks like Fisk has decided to mill the birds. So these ones, the ostrich, there for some extra food. So it's an interesting choice. Definitely not pushing in. Most likely using the scout. Where is your scout? Did they lose the scout? They may have lost a scout. And it looks like Jarazz is bringing a line with that extra pressure there, you know? And Jarazz has managed to push off the man-at-arms rush here. And is now coming forward with some archers. Lost one to the line there. That line's going to hit that wood line. And wood line. Should be seeing some aggression right there, especially now that Jarazz knows where the wood line is. And Fisk has gotten double bit axe, is now going for the gold upgrade. And this Viking economy is probably going to be a very good boost early game. But yeah, it looks like Jarazz here is looking for some kills. And I'm not sure the mass is quite just there yet. I would probably need to see the scout blocking some of these vills running back. But yeah, it looks like Jarazz here is going to go with what one of the previous players did before, going Cumans, and put down that feudal town center. It's going to take a while to build, but it still seems to pay off anyway. Considering that Jarazz is going archers, I think this is it's okay, I guess. Because they'll just be using food to produce villages and won't be splitting too much. But if they were going night like scouts or something, that second TC probably would be too much of a split focus there. And we're getting some skirms come out now for Fisk for that retaliation, and quite a few vills are now idle. And looks like they're getting a couple picks here, and a decent number of archers starting to mass up now. Fisk here has to be very careful because with this second TC going up, Jarazz will be able to essentially push aggressively while having a very good economy to back it up. However, again, this is the Viking economy, but Jarazz here doing an excellent job keeping Fisk off his wood lines and taking out a couple skirms as well. Some good micro there, and Fisk really needs to group these skirms up, currently kind of just throwing them away. And now the villagers are off the gold. And the food income has been halted for a little bit here. Especially a bit dangerous here that these vills are farming around this mill. You definitely want to have your first farms around the town centre for that extra protection. Especially if you're expecting some raids to come in. And with the feudal start, definitely going to expect some of those raids. How's it going, Fisk? Thank you for joining us tonight. And looks like we're going to see a couple. These skirms are starting to mass together and become a bit more of a threat for Jarazz to go into, which is what I like to see. But still heckling that woodline there. Jarazz has done a very good job so far in disrupting Fisk's economy, disrupting the wood income and the gold income, and we can just see Jarazz's own economy ticking away there. Getting the horse collar now, so we might be seeing a switch into scouts, and there we have the stable come up and a lot of mills. So I would definitely think to be going for scouts here, but my guess is Fisk is looking to go to Castle Age. Both players have quite a bit of gold floating and definitely could benefit from having a market right now, and or going into something using gold. Unfortunately, we have a villager over here just hanging out, and Fisk here is under an enormous amount of pressure. Jarazz is continuing to keep it up. It's really taken advantage of this open farming here. It's morning for you. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think I tried to pick a time that was roughly when people in Europe would be awake. Australia and the rest of the world doesn't line up very well. But yeah, we haven't seen it yet, and we got some scouts now in production, and no more archers are being produced, and quite a lot of gold floating. And there we go. Jarazz has just moved a lot of villagers off gold and has decided to go more on food, going to mill these ostrich here, which is going to be quite a good boost to the food economy for the scouts. And only getting double bit axe now. I wonder if that was a bit of an oversight, especially going archers. You generally want that double bit axe early if you can get it. Might have just been a case of not being able to afford it while focusing on the military there. And some quick walls here, and oh no, it looks like there's a gap there. Has Jarazz noticed it? Yes, and I think might be worried about being walled in here, but with the two scouts, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. But Fisk here is on the way to Castle Age and adding spears now. Wouldn't be surprised to see Fisk to switch into some knights potentially upon hitting Castle Age. And Jarazz here is also going to be continuing to the castle. But just look at this economy here with Jarazz, 58 vills in the lead, with Fisk at only 32, and with that eco KD of 10 to 0. And it looks like those spears there are going to find that scout and remove it from the equation. But we still have Jarazz keeping up that pressure. It's clearly got their attention a little bit split. Would probably like to see those archers camping that wood line, but overall still managing to apply some excellent pressure. And it's really up to Fisk here on how to react. And I believe Fisk will have to go very hard into full military. I don't think they have the option to boom here. I think they would have to go into knights. They're going to be at arms. Okay, well, Jarazz isn't producing archers at the moment, so this should be interesting. The man-at-arms now, after receiving that buff, will go pretty well into scouts. However, Jarazz could potentially very easily pivot into cav archers, but has decided to go for knights themselves. And Fisk here has just cleaned up the last of the archers there. Oop. And here comes the cavalry. And quite a decent economy happening over here. Jarazz, it looks like, in a very comfortable position to push forward and potentially go Imperial Age. However, Fisk here has quite a lot of resources floating, so they might be looking to go fast Imp. Unfortunately, I believe they don't have any of the required buildings, so they'll need a university and a temple or a castle, and starting to go on stone there. But here comes the knights, and that is quite a decent number of knights. This may be enough to push Jarazz towards the victory. Denying that town centre for now, and yeah, here comes the cav archers. I really like this play here from Jarazz, going knights and also mixing in a couple of cav archers. This is brutal. And unfortunately for Fisk, there just really isn't an offense. I don't think these longswords are really going to do a whole lot here. Yeah, and there we go. The GG is called. So some excellent pressure there applied by Jarazz, and definitely making use of that feudal town centre. And it's still you can still see how the Viking bonus managed to come in, the eco on food, which is just kind of ridiculous to be honest. Still a very good civ to pick. And it looks like we'll be moving on to game 2. This should be it here. Alright, game 2, and Fisk here is playing as the Byzantines, which I'm starting to suspect is a favourite of theirs, and has opted for Baltic. This is a good map to wall on, to be defensive, and can definitely get an eco boost from these fish here. But there might be a bit of split going into Navy to have that water control. Jarazz over here playing as the Persians, who I'm not too familiar with. I'll see if I can just quickly have a look at their tech tree. I think they generally open normally with like something like scouts. But yeah, so can probably expect a dock before a mill as usually the best option here. And it looks like Jarazz has just gone straight for it. It's not even waiting to get the ball. And Persians, they do have a bit of a bonus on timber, I believe. They're one of the top nomad picks, so there could have been some of that thought process behind going Baltic for that fishing bonus. Yeah, start with 50 food and 50 wood. So unfortunately can't afford the fishing ship right now, but it looks like they're going to get it very soon. And they even opted to not go into a lumber camp, going for the straggler trees, and gonna need that fishing ship real soon. But I would expect that Fisk will probably be playing the more anticipated plan, get the ball, and then go for a dock. And Fisk is got the glove. The gloves are they're off now, and trying to deny a villager. But that villager is back safe. And here we go. Here's the dock coming up for Fisk. I'm very impressed by how quickly everyone seems to have adapted to the feudal start format. And I can kind of see why Empire Wars is a very popular format for tournament play. You don't have to, there's less waiting through Dark Age and more action, and yeah, we won't see any one taken onto the mill. And this is going to be pretty funny if Jarazz doesn't notice this and manages to pull his scout, manages to accidentally go into this town center, and oh no, we've noticed. So some excellent attention to detail there. And Fisk is immediately going for a fire galley. And I think, unfortunately for Jarazz, it was a bit late on producing that first fishing ship for that eco bonus. But, I think this mill may be a bit of a mistake currently. However, I believe what they're going to try and do is they're going to go berries and probably try and mill these here as well. But I definitely think Fisk has the best idea here of going fast fire ships and denying that water eco as soon as possible. So that'd be one of the bigger differences between your standard type maps and a feudal start is Dark Age. There's no military to contest water, so you can only build fishing ships and it's just a race. And once you're feudal, you want to take water control, and starting feudal has incentivized taking control first. But we'll have to see how that pans out. And this mill might actually end up being quite a good thing for Jarazz here. We're not seeing anything in response. And now we've got the mill coming up for Fisk. And fishing ships coming out now. So we're definitely going to see a bit of an eco boom. And I would not be surprised if we see some walls. Definitely an easy wall here. Could come forward with a Ville wall here. But definitely can just do a much closer wall. Potentially here or somewhere. And there goes the fishing ship. And I think Jarazz has given up on water already. Which is going to be a little bit of a loss there in terms of food eco. But Jarazz is apparently fine for food. And by the looks of it, is looking to go for Castle Age. Looks like they just want to boom here. No land aggression at all, and no land aggression from Fisk either. So I think the focus is currently on water. And Fisk has opted to get that eco double bit axe as well early. And again, Jarazz may have forgotten to get double bit axe, just used to starting in a Dark Age game. And it looks like Fisk has won on the water. So they all come down to land aggression. But land aggression with that extra eco on the water, I could definitely see this going Fisk's way. Jarazz really needs to contest this. Could potentially use some demo ships to clear this up, and then get out some fire ships of their own and some fishing ships. A little bit of idle TC time from both players. Might be just the split between the naval and land, but nothing too egregious at the moment. And it looks like Jarazz was just housed, and that's maybe what accounts for that idle TC time in difference between Villes. And Jarazz is floating a lot of food right now. And they're putting out the blacksmith. Wonder if we'll see a stable or a market, and then up to castle. I only think the reason that Jarazz has managed to get this is because they've been pulling Villes from food, or pulling them from gold and then putting them on food. And where are these guys going? Second lumber camp. Let's see. And Fisk has come forward with the scout to see if they can find out what is happening. And there we go. Jarazz is going for Castle Age. Potentially Castle Age into Knights. Yeah. But look at this water eco now for Fisk, and you can see it's really starting to pay off. Can put more vills on wood potentially and have a bigger food income. And only at 4 farms now, but now it looks like Fisk wants to go Castle Age, putting out a market, putting out a blacksmith, and currently it's been very passive. Still no walling. This is some interesting walling here, but I suppose Jarazz is a bit worried about walling to the water's edge because the fire ships can deal with that. However, it puts a bit of a strain on the walling there. And now Jarazz is in Castle Age. We're going to see, yep, a stable. And we'll probably see a second stable as well. They can... Oh, we're going for a town centre. This, just because the current supplies, I probably would have gone for double stable first. Push that early castle advantage. And then once you got some pressure on Fisk's economy, probably then would have gone for a second town centre. And it looks like Fisk has decided to wall up a bit themselves. So I could definitely see a reason to build stone walls in this map. It's pretty cost effective to do so, and even though Jarazz is gone with knights now, still doesn't have bloodlines, and I still think that second stable would have been a much better option than that second town centre. Just stay on one town centre. Yeah, I'm going for 3 town centres now. It's, Jarazz really wants to boom and not go military at all, so there's a bit of a split there in focus. I think at this point in the game you would either want to go full military or full boom, and then you can start to split into the other one. And I think the best option here would have been full aggro and then add some town centres a little later. And we got some more town centres coming in for Fisk, who also wants to boom. I think Fisk has got the better civilization for this, as they're playing the defensive Byzantine Civ, and we'll probably be expecting to see some spears here. And gonna get a vill here, but only the 1 knight, so a lot of advanced warning for Fisk here. And we'll probably not have too much difficulty dealing with this. Some quick walls here on the wood line, putting up a stable of their own. So potentially looking to go knights as well. Double stable, and still only single stable here for Jarazz. So already Fisk is setting up for... I like that. Going into camels. Excellent choice, and cleaning up those knights will soon probably be looking to push out into Jarazz's economy. And look for some picks there. But at the moment, I think it's just waiting to amass a couple numbers and ward off any of these knights coming in. I think what we'll see from Jarazz is a switch into camels of their own as well, which, funnily enough, both players have decided to go civilization where they will have access to camels. I do believe Persians have camels. And Jarazz is mostly walled off, still could see some walls here and here, and Fisk is very slowly walling at the moment, as they would like to say, an open defense. And the camels are starting to go forward now with armor upgrades, and this is what I like to see. And Jarazz still doesn't have wheelbarrow either, and doesn't have the fishing ship, so is definitely starting to fall behind in the economy there, I believe. But Jarazz does have more vills.
considering they managed to kill a couple. Not a great deal, but has managed to get some idle time out of Fisk as well. But here, the camels are going to try, yeah, they're going to get that Vil here, and as I said, as I predicted, Jarazz has opted to also go camels. And interesting that, I wonder if that was a misclick, or I'm building this knight here for Fisk, and just this knight hanging out solo down here. But it does look like Fisk wants to complete walling up, and very good option there, but I do believe they would be able to safely wall to the edge as they have water control with a whole 2 fire ships. And we're going to see ooh, oh, this is that wood line is getting wrecked. Yeah, look at that. Get some kills there for Fisk. Something like, yeah, that's definitely worth its weight in gold. But we're not seeing continued production of the camels, so, and we're seeing an offensive castle come up here from Jarazz, and I really do like this position for the castle. It's on the hill, it protects that stone and gold, and this wood line even to some extent, and makes it a lot harder to push in here. But as I said before, I do believe Fisk has the advantage here, just with that early economy, and is now going for more stables. So it looks like they really want to go in hard. And putting out more camels now. I don't think that cost will be too much of an issue. They'll just be able to go around for now, or go up this side. But Jarazz is on the way to getting a second castle. We may even see his castle drop here from Fisk. Definitely see that being on the table, and it looks like those camels were cleaned up by the town centre there. Unfortunately, it looks like Fisk wasn't paying attention. But look at those fishing ships. At what point do you stop making fishing ships? A couple extra docks would be nice now from Fisk. And we got some vils coming forward now for what I would expect to be a castle drop. But I believe they don't know about this castle yet. And we're going to find out about it very soon. Come on. In you come. And there we go. And excellent reaction there. So he's definitely paying attention. In the right place right now. And I'm not a huge fan of this castle, but it will definitely provide for a foothold in pushing in. Though, to be fair, there's not really a good number. There's not really any good places to put a forward castle. And I wonder if we'll see this monk. No, this monk's just passing, and Jarazz is already thinking about relics. Or, actually, are they? Oh my god, look at that relic there. I think Fisk is thinking about, not Fisk, sorry, Jarazz is thinking about conversions. And I wouldn't be surprised if, so Fisk could be looking to go Imperial Age soon and go into Cataphracts. However, they're going to need more castles if they want to up that production. But Jarazz here is putting up their own second defensive castle. However, if Fisk does manage, Fisk is now going Imperial Age. And they'll be able to push through Trebs behind their castles. And that should be pretty solid way forward. And no, Jarazz is going for that relic. Going for the sneaky capture there. Might be seen here by, no. Maybe we'll potentially be seen by the camels here, which could be unfortunate. I definitely see Fisk just getting Imperial first and pumped out some Trebs. Should be able to effectively push into Jarazz's economy and secure the win that way. And
Bit late on those extra docks, but it's nice to finally see them. And that monk has taken the relic. That monk is a ninja. And university, a siege workshop, potentially bombard cannons coming here for the Fisk. No, it's battering rams. Interesting choice. No Jarazz has camels, so it's not going to be too hard for them to contest the battering rams. But at the same time, Jarazz doesn't really have enough camels. And he's starting to go into archers. And here comes the second forward castle from Fisk. I think it's okay if you're playing going cataphracts. So yes, good option here. If it wasn't for the cataphracts, I'd probably wait to push in, take out these castles, and then drop another one here. And here comes the rams. Don't think there'll be quite enough rams to take out one of these castles. We got Batars coming in for Jarazz. Jarazz may be getting a bit worried here, and he's building war elephants. Definitely an interesting choice. And not sure what's going on with the chemistry for Fisk. Definitely doesn't have chemistry yet, but do have the university available. Look at that economy, so many resources floating there for Fisk. They can really just go full in on cataphracts, and yeah, those rams are gonna get some houses, but I don't think that's what Fisk here is really going for. But these traps here, I think, are what really are going to be the real game winners here. Protected by the castles. It's going to be very hard for Jarazz to deal with them without building his own trebs. He is on the way to Imperial at the moment, but I think it's going to be too late. But we are seeing some more castles here, and Jarazz needs to get a castle up and keep it up and put out some own trebs to defend. We're going to barracks now, so I guess the elephants, I don't see the elephants being too much of a problem into what Fisk here is running, as there's not a huge amount of production. I think I was Fisk able to probably go into just add a couple monks and convert the elephants. There's not enough production. The elephants don't really do enough here, I think. They were good against the rams briefly, but I think Jarazz is scrambling a bit here. And yeah, look, just pushing in. Gonna lose a monk. Who cares? And look at this siege push. This looks like a game-ending army to me in this current state. And I'm not sure exactly what Jarazz can do here. Has some crossbows, but those crossbows are going to get cleaned up. Those cataphracts and those camels, there's enough of them, and they have full armor upgrades. So, it's not the mass required for the defense that Jarazz needs, and I think we'll be seeing a GG here soon, especially with that last castle going down. And Fisk is really into Jarazz's economy right now. And there goes the castle, losing a town centre, and got some heavy camels coming in now. Damn, oh, we got another castle coming up, but I think this castle may be denied, and if it isn't, it doesn't really matter because the trebs are here. But yeah, it looks like this castle may in fact get... No! Those crossbows want that castle. And also getting heavy camel now. The trebs are setting up, and this is looking more and more like the end for Jarazz. Losing a couple of fills here. Look at that Eco KD now for Fisk going their way. 48-5. Oh, almost 10 times. And I think we're going to see another town center go down there. Followed by this castle, and it definitely looks like this is it for Jarazz. They haven't really. They're still fairly even for Vills, but yeah, there we go. The GG's called. And I think Jarazz's biggest mistake was not contesting the water there and just letting Fisk snowball into that castle. Boom! Camel thing. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see that when we have a look at the economy statistics here. But yeah, look, so many kills. Just the 1/3 kills there, and only 38 from Jarazz. Surprisingly closer than I thought. However, I guess there was a bit of an additional thing there for the chance to go more on the gold. May have just made more of a distance early game. Those fishing ships became more inefficient, due to the fact that there wasn't more docks built. And a bit of idle time there for Fisk as well. But they are at 120 bills now, so it doesn't really matter too much. Anyway, let's move on to the last game, which is Land Madness. Certainly not one that I would pick in a random map game. This map is definitely known for being a Empire War map, but perhaps that's why they went with it. It's very open, very aggressive, and this is Jarazz's pick. So maybe Jarazz does play a bit of Empire Wars, and has decided to go with an Empire War type strategy. We've got Fisk here playing the Lithuanians. And excellent civ for cavalry. Definitely be seeing some, well, most likely be seeing some map control for the relics. And Jarazz playing the Huns. Also, we'll probably see a lot of scouts from Jarazz here. And just have a quick look at the Hun tech tree. Because I can't quite remember what it is. No houses, so that may actually be somewhat of a disadvantage on this map, because you can't just easily house wall. But at the same time, all that wood you're saving on houses, you can just build walls with. Cav archers are cheaper in castle, and trebs are more accurate. Oh, and stables work faster. So yeah, I definitely think we'll be seeing Jarazz going to some very aggressive scouts here. May even ignore going mills and immediately try and open for a stable. And that Vil is having a good time. Just chilling, hanging out, you know. However, I see Fisk also going scouts here as well. There is quite a lot of starting food here, which is definitely something you want for scouts. I think we're just gonna speed up a little bit here until we see a little bit more aggression occur, which I honestly don't think is going to be very far away. And yeah, Fisk here is going for that stable as quick as possible. Pre-mill rush, forget it. Pre-mill scout rush is where we're at now. And oh yeah, that's the extra 150 food here for Fisk as the Lithuanians is quite the boost with some speedy spears and skirms for defense. So it might be pretty useful on those spears as well. So Jarazz has seen the stable and will need to respond and has that stable of their own. However, we're probably going to have to see some idle TC time if they want to get out the scouts they need. So I think these economies are going to come down to the wire. There's going to be a lot of economic focus on managing vills to have just enough food to build scouts and vills, and queuing probably a bit too many vills there, I think, for Jarazz. Definitely could unqueue a couple of those vills and produce some scouts as well. And here we go, Jarazz is really going in. And it looks like Fisk has forgotten to produce scouts and has a couple of idle town centers. Idle town centers. Has some idle vills just standing here. But is looking around Jarazz's base, and it looks like we're having a bit of a base trade. No, we're not. Never mind. Fisk is searching around, isn't going to find much, because the only thing Jarazz is on right now, really, is the wood line. And here comes the barracks, the defensive barracks coming in now for Jarazz. And some vills chilling at the... Yes, yeah, the... Can't house all your wood lines anyways. I guess that's true. Yeah, that's very true, isn't it? Ah. Yep. That's a very good point. So, yeah, going Huns really isn't a problem on this map at all. Probably like 10 minutes late on that chat there, but I have to look at my second monitor to check it. And currently what's happening in the game is just far too interesting, you know. And Jarazz here is looting another scout. Those vills are feisty. Probably not the word to use, but anyway, it's the word we're going to go with. And a couple of spears now coming. Wouldn't be surprised to see these spears. To be able to take probably the berries here. Oh yeah, look, these scouts are going to town right now. Oh, I'm gonna lose that spear? No. Okay, here we go. Look at the micro, look at the dance. Unfortunately, those 5 vills before weren't as active as the scouts though. Oh, nice, nice couple picks here, and Jarazz really needs to be a little bit more careful. We're going up against 4 scouts. Some excellent micro there from Fisk on dealing with the counter units. Jarazz has come out all this way to mill these over here, because it's the last thing that Fisk will expect. And probably even go for berries out here as well. But still a bit of a gamble. If Fisk ever decided to have a bit of a scout over here, those are going to be very open. And a bit of a dangerous here with Jarazz chasing these scouts, because this is where Fisk will take the opportunity to turn around and try and pick them off. But I don't think they're quite off their health pool right now. And oh no, we're going to lose a scout there. Ooh. I think Jarazz is feeling pretty happy with that and has, yeah, just beaten off the attack there. Bit more idle time there for Jarazz. Not too sure if that was just the focus on defending or the fact that they were trying to reduce scouts earlier, but I think it may have to do with the defense. And Fisk is in the lead here now by 6 vills. And he's getting their eco upgrades. So it looks like Fisk is going from their very defensive type play from round one and gone for more aggressive type play. But yeah, look at that food economy coming in now for Fisk. Probably be seeing some of those deer milled as well. Definitely be supplying quite a decent amount of food, especially with that faster gather rate on hunting. I think we can definitely see Fisk being the first looking to age up here. And Jarazz hasn't really had the opportunity currently to take gold, and I don't think it's really been an incentive currently to take gold. Not going archers, and don't need any gold for the defensive units here. And Fisk is not Fisk, sorry. Jarazz has decided to come forward with spear. And those spears are a little way off. Gonna get that scout there, very nice. And now Fisk has 0 military. And Jarazz has a whopping 5 spears. And here they come. And they know where the berries are. And they're gonna take a stab at it. Bit more gold, and Fisk will be heading to Castle Edge. I think they could have waited on the gold mining upgrade until they had already clicked Castle, but I don't think that matters too much here. And yeah, here goes Jarazz, going Castle first. Potentially, probably be going into Knights now. Got the first stable, we'll probably be seeing a second stable very soon. Now going archery range. So I would be expecting to see cav archers as opposed to crossbows. And the second stable coming in for Fisk, who is also probably going to be going into Knights. Surprise, surprise, we are playing Lithuanians here. And there may be the mad rush now to go for these relics. A lot of vills now on gold. And a decent number of farms for that first early night production. But yeah, this is starting to feel a lot more like we're watching Empire Wars than random map. It's just slightly slower because you don't start with what's it, like 10 vills or 15 vills or something and a bunch of economic buildings. Second archery range coming in now, getting fletching. And probably be seeing some vills moved now from, we're going for a second town centre. And yeah, there we go, there's the cav archers. And it does have the stable to get bloodlines if the Huns get bloodlines, I'm pretty sure. And here come the Knights. Such an unusual map. I'm definitely not used to watching games on this particular type of map. And there's the monastery now. So Fisk knows that they need those relics before Jarazz can get them. And if I was Jarazz, I would be looking to try and get those relics as well, or at least be staking them out. But Fisk here coming forward with the Knights. If Jarazz here can mass some cav archers, and yeah, there's the monastery coming in now for Jarazz. But yeah, if Jarazz can mass some cav archers, Fisk here might be in a lot of trouble. But does not have ballistics or thumb ring, I believe. So they're pretty inaccurate at the moment. And oh no, there goes a spear. Ooh, that's quite a lot of knights. Those knights will be fighting under the town centre here. Which is probably not the best spot for them. And taking a bit of damage. So they try to chase down those cav archers. But I don't think it's really worth it for Fisk here. And I appreciate the walling that Jarazz has continued to do to fight with Overchop. And yeah, just going for straight for those walls. But Palisades usually don't keep knights out of it. Oh, and no. Missed part of the Overchop. The knights are in on the wood line. This is bad news here for Jarazz. And Fisk has got those stables. I was going to say has got those stables going, but production has paused. And yeah, here we go. Here's the defensive monk. And more cav archers now.
And these vills are just chilling out. But some decent kills there for Fisk. And now taking the Vil lead. And going for a third town centre. But I don't think Jarazz here has the mass yet either to deal with these knights with the cav archers, unfortunately. But we'll be attempting to pull them under the town centre. And there's the failed conversion. Unfortunately, losing the monk is worth quite a lot of gold at the moment. And there goes yet another monk. And oddly enough, I don't think there's been any monks for Fisk. Probably just an oversight at the moment. But we'll remember about those relics soon enough, I assume. And yeah, just cleaned up on the cav archers there. And there we go. GG is called from Jarazz. Let's have a quick look at the stats. So it looks like Fisk has become our new favourite of the tournament. Some excellent adapting to the format, and yeah, a strong set for round 2. Jarazz came out swinging game 1, but Fisk really brought it back in the second 2 games. And now we'll be moving on to, I believe it's Artist versus Sagan. I'm just going to have a quick break while I set that up.